If you've ever seen screenshots of queer dating apps, spent time on them yourself, or explored the political corners of YouTube, you may have noticed a very specific archetype. A man, likely straight presenting, proudly stating, no femmes, straight acting only. Or a commentator, defensively separating him or herself from the broader LGBTQ community. I'm just one of the normal ones, they say. On the surface, it may present itself as a political take, a conservative one at that, but just an opinion, a type. But if we lift the veil just a little, it might just reveal the psychology behind intergroup marginalization, a desperate attempt where a man or woman is fringing on its own community in hopes to buy a ticket to acceptance. Today I want to explore the psychology behind the normal gay and how this historical phenomenon reflects society's continued discrimination against marginalized groups. I want to begin by just addressing how sick I am right now. You can hear it in my voice, and also I'm sorry that I'm reading off a script the whole time. So I hope you enjoy this video, Nicole. Let's get to it. To understand why this phenomenon has evolved, we need to zoom out and look at Ian Mayer's minority stress theory. This theory, coined in 2003, aimed to understand the different stresses that impact minorities and how they cause an inequality in mental health issues proportionate to that of the majority. His revolutionary study does look specifically at the stresses impacting members of the LGBTQ community, which is astoundingly relevant in understanding issues that members face. Society is heteronormative. From the day we are born, we adapt and absorb to the standards it holds, whether that be with how we dress and talk, what we believe in, and who we are expected to be attracted to. When a queer person realizes that they're different, especially in a society which doesn't accept their difference, they carry those biases with them. This internal struggle is referred to as internalized homonegativity, or sometimes just internalized homophobia. It reflects a person struggling to accept their true self because of the societal standards at the time. Navigating a society which refuses to accept that difference carries major stresses. And humans are wired to look for a shortcut to alleviate them. If society hates gay people as they disrupt the traditional genders and roles, a simple logic will follow. If I don't disrupt the normality, then society won't hate me. By complying with these rules and claiming to be a normal gay, they're in hopes of trying to create a middle ground with the dominant culture. By splitting the LGBTQ community into acceptable and unacceptable halves, they're looking to be validated as part of the former, attempting to outrun the stigma associated with their group. But this will often push them to more conservative ideologies, further creating a rift between the two halves. But the harsh truth is, they're trying to broaden the perspectives of a group whose ideology lies in staying the same, so oftentimes they're stuck further distancing themselves from both groups who are now never going to accept them. This is not a new phenomenon. If we travel back to the 1950s, we find the homophile movement. Led by early gay rights groups, they're insistent on everyone wearing business suits and dresses, staying once again normal. Whilst they are inherently outside of it, they attempted to operate within the Overton window of 1950s society. So when the Stonewall riots began in 1969, these older, more respectable and once again normal activists were shocked at the violent outcries from drag queens, trans women of colour and street youth. They were scared that these radicals would ruin their progress. They believed that normality would win them their rights. This behaviour, in psychology, is referred to horizontal hostility, a term explored by researchers Judith White and Ellen Langer. White and Langer observed a quirk in human biases, that members of a minority would often hold a harsher judgment to those within their minority that they deem too extreme than those who disagree with it entirely. See, the normal gay doesn't hate the outspoken queer out of genuine disgust. They hate them because they fear they're going to be lumped into the same basket and discriminated against the same, a fear of being guilty by association. This is now socially understood through movements like LGB without the T and TERFs lesbians, trans exclusionary radical feminists. Sometimes these people will act as commentators to conservatives, determining that the modern queer movement has gone too far. This is their attempt in distancing themselves from the community. One psychological theory that may provide an explanation behind this is Tafgel and Turner's social identity theory. It suggests that when a group's status is threatened, they have a few options, one being social mobility, distancing themselves from the group entirely. In Paulo Freire's Pedagogy of the Oppressed, he notes that when people have been systematically denied power, they often don't know how to reclaim it and express that strength, except for adopting the tools of the oppressor. So for these men and women, fighting a system which is historically and continues to systematically oppress them is terrifying. But turning their back and bullying a member of your community because they sit further outside the Overton window, that's easy. For a second, they get to be the one holding the blade, determining what's normal and what's deviant. Finally, I want to give some context behind this. When I was tasked to present a current issue in our society as an expert in my field to a board of governing officials, I knew exactly what I would present. See, this intergroup marginalisation has been an issue I've been passionate about for a couple of years now, but who would I present it to? And then I thought about it. Considering who the highest governing body for this issue is, at the end of the day, it's society. This whole issue stems from continued societal marginalisation and systematic failures to protect minorities. The fate of the normal gay is a bargain which never pays out. The dominant culture may applaud those who shove their community members under the bus, while society leaves them under there. Society might give them views, a seat at the table, but at the end of the day, it will always prioritise normal behaviour. The moment that a normal gay steps out of line, the facade vanishes, and they're left being discriminated against too. Driving a marginalised community to discriminate against itself may work out for the average person, but it doesn't destroy the stigma. At the end of the day, equality is for everybody, and separating yourself from it just makes the problem worse.